Hey guys, what's up? It's Josh. So for today's video, as you guys can see by the title, I wanted to talk about a couple really good ways that I think you can walk up to somebody and talk to somebody who's more introverted or somebody that's more quiet that you've never talked to before. Because I used to be somebody who's really shy, and when people would walk up to me and talk to me, I would like close up and not know what to say. And then everything would just be really awkward and I'd be super nervous. So for today's video, I just thought I would help you guys out with this. Maybe you can relate to some of these and you can just leave your feedback down below and just let me know that like these things are actually right or these are wrong or whatever your opinion is. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and here are 5 different ways to talk to somebody who's really shy. One thing that I think really like catches somebody off guard, especially if they're shy and just makes them really nervous, is when you run up to them and you just start talking about a bunch of things. They're not able to think about how they're feeling and listen to you at the same time. If you are going to talk to somebody who's really shy, try to do it in a way where they're not going to feel like really threatened or pressured or just super up against the wall because they don't know how to respond. Take it slow first and let the conversation start rolling, and I think that's the first thing that you need to do when you actually start talking to them. So when you do start having a conversation with them, one of the things that you want to kind of stay away from is asking a bunch of questions. Now, the reason that you do this is because shy people don't necessarily like talking, or when they do like talking, they don't like talking about things that are personal to them. Ask them questions about like what's happening in front of them so that they can actually see it and they don't have to think really deep about what their answer is going to be because they're seeing it happen in front of them. I think that as soon as you start hitting those personal questions, that's when people start to really get nervous and start to wonder like why you're asking. They don't want to tell you, and so they make something up, and then it might make it kind of awkward. So be cautious about the things that you're actually saying to them when you do get into a conversation with them. Now the next one is kind of like after you said what you wanted to say, you're in a conversation with them now. Like you have to be really patient with a person who's more introverted because they're obviously not going to be the talkative type or the person that's just going to be telling you all the answers that you want to hear. If you ask them a question, it might actually take them like a couple tries in order to actually give you a full answer as to like what you're wanting to hear. Just make sure that like you're patient, willing to wait for that person to give you their answer, but eventually after you have longer conversations with them, you'll realize that like that's how you start to get answers from them. Now when that's going on kind of on the other end, I think it's really important for you to actually be listening to what that person is saying, because if you start to like fade off or you're not listening to them anymore, that kind of gives them the sign that like they're talking to something and what they're saying isn't really meaning that much. And I think that when it comes from somebody who isn't a person to talk very much, then they're most likely never gonna open up or talk to you about important things ever again. Because I know that when I was shy, like if I was talking to somebody and I knew they weren't listening, I would just stop talking, and then eventually like you just don't have conversations anymore because you realize that the things that actually mean a lot to you that you're telling that person, if they're not listening, what's the point of actually talking about them? So just make sure that when they're talking back to you, that you're just listening a lot, and it's pretty straightforward. That's another thing that I think you should really do if you are starting a conversation with someone. A really good thing to talk to anybody about, I feel like, especially somebody who's more quiet, is anything that has to do with things that they like. Everybody has different hobbies and different things that they go out and enjoy doing. I think it's really important to like ask them questions about that. That's not something that's really personal, just something that they enjoy doing. And if they really enjoy doing it, they're most likely gonna want to open up and tell you more about it, and just be proud of the things that they actually like. You might have some questions that like go on top of what they're talking about, and then that'll just carry on the conversation more. So definitely just try to figure out what that person enjoys doing and then talk to them about that. All right, the last thing that I think is really important is making sure that that person knows that you appreciate talking to them. If they feel at the end of the conversation that like you got really bored or you really didn't care about the conversation that you guys had, make sure that they don't go away and think that like that whole conversation that you just had was like somewhat pointless. Make sure that they know that you appreciated talking to them, and just like smile or give them a hug or something. And I think those are some really good things to do after you finish having a conversation. So those are a couple things that I think will really be able to help you. I know that for me, when I was like going through being really shy and trying to talk to people, there were certain things that just freaked me out, and so I can kind of relate to this. So if you are a shy person, or if you have a crush that's really shy and you just don't know how to talk to them, and this video helped you out, give this a thumbs up and leave me a comment asking any questions that you want to know, and I'll try to answer them as best as I can. I totally feel you if you're going through that nervous, awkward, shy stage of your life, because I went through that and it was like, I don't know. I'm just glad that I got through it. So I hope that you guys enjoyed today's video. I will see you guys on Saturday for another video. And if you aren't subscribed to my vlog channel, go and do that really quick. But I love you guys, and I will see you on Saturday. Bye!